Wait, so Attack on Titan or the 40K universe?
Attack on Titan in a heartbeat.
Oh,
Wow.
hell. It's
Oh,
In a heartbeat.
Wow.
It is. Okay, that's messed up.
We interrupt our usual programming to introduce you to Nerdgasm.
But you know what? I feel like we're all okay as long as the white people don't pay. If the white people don't pay e-tolls, we're fine.
And then You Are My Friend started playing in the background.
You are my friend.
Whoa, we're making love to the bread and farting on it? Guys, no!
For a group of people that don't like One Piece, we have a very One Piece-esque story.
Oh my god. Wait, does that mean I'm lucky?
Yeah, you definitely.
It's the first one he meets.
Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome to another episode of the Nerdgasm podcast. I almost forgot the name. The teleprompter in me it wasn't the teleprompter's fault, it's my dyslexia. So I almost gave the wrong name for the channel, but you know what? It's fine.
Yeah, look, we need to be honest. Manuel has been sending us to the CCMA, him and Moses, so it hasn't been easy.
Let's keep it honest, guys. Bad things are happening in South Africa, and whoever is being abused, so he's running away. That's what really happened. And that's the story, and that's what's happening in South Africa.
Very terrible things. Oh no. No. Why did you go into Trump at the same time?
Oh.
Twin, where have you been?
Okay. Yeah, guys. Yeah, so the guys are saying we must stop calling their names because it was Moses, then it's Manuel, now it's Kovas. They say we should not mention their name during the recording.
Oh, Yammer.
Okay, all right. We are going into part 3 of the
secret level,
where it features one of. It took an interesting turn. One of them shocked me beyond words. I won't lie. We'll talk about it.
I mean, both of them are quite shocking, to be honest.
Well,
the second one didn't shock me so much.
The first one I kind of saw it coming. The second one,
Yeah.
That being said, I'm waiting for the disclaimer to keep disclaimering. We are like at minute 2 now. So while I'm busy talking, this is what I'm supposed to be describing my guests. Okay, well, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, welcome BuckMeister from Meister Geek Media and BuckMeister Cool Reacts from the land of YouTube.
The social media sage.
The social media sage, master of the sage art, social media, the master of the Senpo, Twitter hater no jutsu.
From the mountains of Wi-Fi.
Recast T'Challa no jutsu. I want to cosplay as Jiraiya so bad. I almost bought a cosplay, but then I looked at it and I was like, right? The mountains are expensive.
Sometimes you can cosplay and sometimes you can just make. There's a difference. What was I? Oh yeah. Follow him on all his social medias.
BuckMeister Cool Reacts, Recast T'Challa campaign. There's comics on Webtoons, Black Panther vs. Kang on Webtoons, issues 1 through 6. Working on an animation for it. Please check it out and support. There we go.
Just to correct you,
good. My God, I saw that walking.
And BuckMeister Cool Reacts, not BuckMeister Cool and BuckMeister Cool Reacts.
Oh yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
You don't even know your own.
The links are below.
Hey dog, I've been
below.
I've been deep in black text, so
the links.
I've been texting.
Are below. That sounds so wrong. Suddenly,
He's been texting.
Texting when black text. But anyway.
Okay.
Okay,
let's get Beyonce's song out of my head.
Next one.
PP all night.
I knew it. You just had to say it. No? You just can't hold yourself.
PP all night.
Social media sage.
Wrong.
You know, out of all of us, you're the one that should actually be saying it like that. We get it. Like, you are the only one that can say that.
What? TV all night?
Yeah.
Wait, what? No, I'm not getting distracted. I'm not getting distracted. No.
Okay.
Next one.
Introducing from the Fire Nation, the Fire Lord of the Fire Lord from the wonderful land of the Mlambo, Zuko, also known as the resident pretty boy, because I hope. Wait, we are coming to. Fun fact, we're going to Afrogeek. I hope Reggie sees this. He will be there, Reggie.
It'll be like,
you hear me? Reggie,
come here.
He's going to be there.
Yeah, dog. I'm gonna hit that Neo. Oh no, no. I'm not gonna hit the Neo. I'm gonna hit them fires.
The Will Smith, man.
Female wife shield, go.
I'm gonna hit them fires.
It's gonna be a duel. Reggie's gonna be like, I've activated. What's this? Attract card. And then Zuko's like, haha, I expected that. That's why you've activated my wife card. With this card, I deflect all advances.
Seems like it's a Samurai Jack episode.
I sacrificed all three of my monsters.
That I knew that you were going to try and pull me. So I knew.
His wife is going to come down like Obelisk. The sky is going to open. Dun.
And then some opera song is gonna start playing.
Hakaishin Waiko.
BuckMeister being all Joey like all of a sudden. Hey, what's going on up here?
and then Cam is gonna be in the background like, oh no, Ubinita Mosadi.
And of course,
speed lines all of a sudden.
I'll be the one aura farming there, posing like nothing's happening. It's about time things got serious.
Having a cape. What are you doing?
No, don't worry, guys. I'll bring a permanent.
Tebello, you aura farming on some. The hetero is strong. This one.
I'll bring a permanent marker and then I'll mark our hands. No, it's fine. I'll
the power of heteroness.
Okay. We love you, Richie. By the way, we're just joking. Eh?
Come on, Richie.
He's awesome. He's awesome. He does such dope. So many dope things.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on. Mr. Extrodin from our resident Tony Stark. He owns almost everything. So Africa is next. Africa in frame. Mr. Extrodin talks. Mr. Extrodin faith. Mr. Extrodin something to do with hip hop.
Extrodin something. Extrodin this. Extrodin.
Extrodin memorabilia.
Extrodin shoes. Extrodin glasses.
Extrodin glasses.
Okay, guys, remember when Mr. Extrodin wakes up, that Busta Rhymes and Lil Wayne song plays. Respect my conglomerate.
Yes, that one. Mr. Extrodin, who knows? Maybe in the future we might have Mr. Extrodin X-rated toys, Mr. Extrodin dildos,
Mr. Extrodin
babies,
Mr. Extrodin Banga,
Mr. Extrodin chicken.
So Mr. Extrodin chicken, replacing chicken leg out of nowhere.
But it's gonna be so crazy. I'm gonna monopolize everything. Like when you watch normal TV, it's my ad. And then after that ad, it's another ad. Mr. Extrodin chicken, get yours today. Afterwards, it's like Mr. Extrodin juice. Make sure you get one tomorrow.
And then after
Mr.
that,
options.
Then it goes to vital intensity. Then it goes to vital intensity cartoon, and then it's like Mr. Extrodin vital intensity. Brought to you by Mr. Extrodin insurance. Hey man, yo.
And then obviously he's gonna have medical. He's gonna have insurance because all that chicken ish.
Health insurance. Oh yeah, Mr. Extrodin health insurance, medical aid.
Did you have too much Mr. Extrodin chicken? Please come to Mr. Extrodin
and
insurance.
Everybody in the ad is played by Mr. Extrodin somehow.
No. Everybody there is called Mr. Extrodin.
He's gonna be Eddie Murphy in
No, they're going to be voiced by Lillian Dube. Hi.
With Mr. Extrodin's face?
Once you start hearing Eta, it's Eta. This is Desmond Dube.
He had to talk
That's
about
the one time you got, no matter how lazy
insurance.
you were, when you heard Lillian Dube or Desmond Dube, no matter how lazy you were, you got up and went to go change the channel.
But here's the thing, I'm greedy. I'm not gonna say only 100 a day. It's like only 1,000 a day. You can get insurance.
Okay. Yeah, I think you've got
Dude,
enough
that's
time.
31,000 a month. Are you mad?
What insurance? Like, are you turning me into a cyborg? Do I get superpowers?
Mr. Krabs.
And
Mr.
then we say
Extrodin
something
Krabs.
like you get a discount every February, 2 days off.
You.
Mr. Extrodin Krabs.
Hey, is running the Krusty Krab.
Wow, that sounds so. Yeah, Krusty Krab.
Mr. Krabs is looking at him like, man, I've been doing too little.
I'm too much of a tuna. I'm too much of a
Scrooge is like, yo, I
millennial.
respect the hustle. Scrooge is like, I respect the hustle.
Scrooge will appear like Orochimaru, teach me a jutsu.
Whoa,
we don't do that here.
Did you just cry yourself?
Okay. Yes. Well done. He's reached the next level.
Okay,
of
let's go. Let's focus on secret level.
Okay. Secret level. Yeah, now going to go. Guys, we're going to try and keep this at a fast pace now. We're going to evil count this episode. This is the evil count. When people are going to be asking, if you blink, dear viewer, you're going to miss something. That's how fast we're going to go now.
And we won't even cheap block the bleeding.
We won't cheap block this bleeding. Anyway.
Episode 1. Episode 1? No. Well, of this episode.
The first episode would be episode 5.
Yes.
Episode 5. I forgot its name completely, but all I can tell you.
I know it's about 40k, right?
Warhammer 40k. In the grim dark future of mankind, there is only war, and Warhammer has a special love and hate relationship with me.
Okay.
Just a question before we start, ne? It's not connected to StarCraft, right? It's a separate thing.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Even though they hate each other because, hey, shame, plagiarizing. I'm not gonna lie. StarCraft, the makers of StarCraft are masters of stealing. Ne? That line, an amateur copies and a master steals. They all looked at the makers of StarCraft when they were thinking about that because boy, do the makers? Oh,
wait. So 40k came before.
Way before.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Way before.
Is that why there's no quote unquote good guys in in Warhammer and in StarCraft, quote unquote?
StarCraft have got good guys.
Oh, I'm asking. I don't know.
Wait, so Henry Cavill
the Protoss are good guys.
Where's Rob?
Those disgusting bugs are the evil ones. Don't listen to his propaganda. There's that one to eat you.
You look so questionable in the face right now, but it's fine.
That's interesting.
Hey,
I didn't know which came first, but I think it makes sense why Henry Cavill would be a fan of Warhammer because he probably grew up with it.
Yeah, let me explain, or rather, let me explain the game because remember we explained a bit about the game before we got into the actual episode.
True.
Yeah, so the game is basically it started from a tabletop game where you'd actually purchase figurines that you'd actually spend time. It's like a very intense hobby. It's like one of the most expensive hobbies ever. For my Magic the Gathering friends thinking that hobby is expensive, look at Warhammer once and you'll never question your money, the amount of money you spend on Magic ever again. They buy figurines, then they paint the figurines according to standard, and then they take those figurines and then they go meet up with their friends at a garage or something and spend literally hours playing because you have a ruler and a table and then they can move a certain amount of speed for this time and then you need to roll to determine whether the charge is effective or not, or whether these people survive the courage test or something like that. It's a very hectic game, but at the same time
how big are these miniature figures?
Oh my goodness,
I've seen some of them. Some of them are like this big, I think.
Those are the bigger ones. The figure. Oh no, I'm saying that the fan base became huge, but the figurines are like can be about this size.
Oh, I guess maybe I just saw a regular.
I know a woman who did that once.
Wow.
Okay, that's him. That's him. Blame him.
Yeah.
And he sips his alcohol.
I'm sorry.
No. That is apple. That is not alcohol. He's sipping his
apple juice.
Grapetizer. Is this Grapetizer? Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Tebello being Zuko's lawyer for no reason. Okay.
No. It's Tebello defending his channel in case it gets flagged.
The channel called Nerdgasm.
Consuming dangerous. Like.
And this is the moment where Zuko wins the case, and he's also shocked. Wait, I won?
Oh, yeah, better I won. I mean, listen.
Wee. Okay, guys, back to the Warhammer universe.
Yeah.
So before then, there used to be like remember there was a magazine called White Dwarf. It was a White Dwarf, ne? There was a magazine series. But they used to have different examples of what happens during the tabletop games. It used to range from medieval times all the way to super futuristic Warhammer period, where it really took off, and then they basically cut off the past White Dwarf magazine and everything, and just kept with Warhammer 40k, which for me, they also created the term grim dark, which basically explains where there's a story where basically nothing good happens.
Oh, they created that.
Everything. Yeah, that's where the terminology grim dark came from, and that genre was basically created by the 40k universe. Because let me tell you something, everything in that future is effed. I'd rather walk straight into the pits of Tartarus that anyone else can imagine than spend 1 femtosecond in the 40k universe.
Wait, so Attack on Titan or the 40k universe?
Attack on Titan in a heartbeat.
Oh, wow. Hell. In a
heartbeat.
Wow.
Okay, that's messed up. Because Attack on Titan ain't...
Yeah, that's something else.
Attack on Titan is not a picnic.
There are different alien races that are also all different kinds of messed up. One of the worst ones I can think of are the Dark Elves. Do you know what they like? What happens for them to keep their souls intact from being eaten by a chaos god? They need to continuously torture innocent souls. And when I mean continuously torture, I mean in all manner of sexual and all manner of horrific physical depravities. There's the homunculi. Their homes are literally lined with living people's skin, and they're still alive, moaning in agony. And it's like sweet music to their souls.
And this started as a tabletop game?
Yes.
Yeah, man. How you
and
go
that's
from...
And that's just one example. Let's not go into the fact.
I haven't asked, did Jeffrey Dahmer start this game?
It might as well
was
be.
Was this the dojo where George R.R. Martin learned to write?
No, like, what the hell? Why are they
George R.R. Martin would run away screaming if you spend half a second looking at the legend lore of this thing. There's a reason why it's called grim dark. There's death, pestilence. I can even give you a rundown. There's a gigantic universe consuming alien called the Terranus that's trying to eat everything. We've got the Dark Elder that are trying to BDSM torture everything to death. Then we've got the Chaos Gods being Zinch. It's Zinch, Korn, Nurgle, and Slanesh. Slanesh was basically created by the Dark Elder because of all that depravity. They created her.
So what's the mission?
It sounds like 2000s rock band.
And then
what's the purpose of the?
And now
main
you
characters?
think, okay, the humans are the good guys. Nope, wrong. The Imperium of Man is just as messed up and horrifically corrupt.
Yeah, humans and good guys.
No,
yeah.
Hey, look, I'm just saying, other space stories at least have us chilling. This one, yeah. I'm not understanding.
It is the exact opposite of Star Trek. Star Trek has got a nice hint of optimism. Like, at some point in time, mankind gets its ish together and we start exploring space. Like, Star Trek is like, wow, we might actually get it together. Warhammer is like,
So the main guy is not a good guy either.
Say it in Vanek. Like, new.
Don't forget the ones part.
Because here's the other thing. I played some of the PlayStation game, the PlayStation 3 game. Like I remember renting it once, and I just rented it because it looked cool, and it was just like you machine gun slaughter monsters, and like you have a chainsaw sword and all of that stuff.
Yes.
That's all I know about it. So I was just like, oh, maybe it's just Space Marines with the good guys. But now I'm finding out, no, apparently like you're subjugating planets and destroying.
No, if only it was just about subjugation of planets and stuff. Oh God, look, the
guys, hold on.
Do they make Do they make Saiyan Saga Vegeta look like a saint? What's happening?
Yes. Let's say if a planet gets taken over by, let's say, I'll explain what happened when the Terraners were invading the galaxy. There's this Inquisitor named Cryptman, and in order to, because he figured out that the Terraners feed on biomatter to get stronger and stronger. So to prevent the Terraners from getting stronger, you know what he did? He went ahead of the Terraners hive fleet and basically nuked every single planet with life in it, billions of human lives, just to make sure that these other aliens don't get any food. So,
Jesus, these guys need Naruto.
Exterminatus is a thing. So,
and people were complaining about Invincible and Omni-Man.
I had people say, no, we want to make a live adaptation of Warhammer, and I was like, I'm not gonna watch that. Like, go ahead.
Yeah, there's been talks that Henry Cavill wants to do that for a while.
And
I'm saying if they cast Henry Cavill, he's gonna try. They're gonna try and make Imperium look like good guys. They're not gonna try and
look.
He kind of looks like that guy anyway, the main guy.
Yeah, he looks like the main character.
The main character.
The main character of the short that we saw.
Oh, the short. Okay, yeah, true. Because I was like, shame, poor thing. The guy's gonna be stuck to a chair until he dies.
Evan, what is this universe?
Look, guys, I'm so traumatized right now.
Look, like I said, everything.
Like I need a hug right now.
Like, what's the point of this thing? There's no.
Thank you. That is why I never identified with the Grimdark story, because ultimately I also said, what's the point? Because all you're basically telling me about is it's just an internal setting. Because you want to have your never-ending storyline because you get to play your game forever and ever, but there is no ending to this story. What's the point of doing this? Imagine me, who went crazy over the evil cult because it ended in the middle. For me to go into this universe and find out that the storyline is that the ending of the story is there is no ending because
one of the biggest fans of this channel is going to say, but you guys read comics every month and there's no end to them as well, right?
No, here's the difference. A comic book is trying to give me a message of something. Even when they're bad, there's a point. Mm-hmm. There's a point to it. Like they can suck, but the writer's trying to say something. Here, all I'm getting is that it's death and destruction. Wire.
Deal with it.
Like, just kill till you die.
I think what they explained to me, one of these people explained to me, and also shout out to Overly Sarcastic Productions because they did make a discussion about
Tebello, your camera's too low. It's a bit low. Okay. It's like cutting off your
Are you seeing my bosoms?
Well, I'm not trying. I'm trying to see your face.
My eyes are up here. Stop looking at my bust. Why are you looking down
calm
here?
down.
Hey.
No, Tsunade.
100 hands healings here. We're trying to focus.
Okay. I was saying, shout out to Red from OSP because she actually gave the rundown, because even if the whole overarching theories of the universe is screwed, the individual stories they make have a point somewhere along the line.
Okay.
Which it's like, for me, it's like a bittersweet pill, because it ultimately says, no, it's all good and all, but ultimately everything is still screwed. So yeah, you may have saved this planet for a day.
I actually have a comic like that.
But ultimately, everything is still. I
don't really enjoy stuff like that, and I just think for the point of I think like it's like cynical storytelling for the sake of cynical storytelling has never been interesting to me, and we're gonna get to that because one of these shorts definitely, and I'll spoiler alert, it's the second one. I'm definitely gonna tear it apart because I know what they were trying to do, and sorry, boring, but like just the sake of cynical storytelling for the sake of it to me is always it's always been boring because what it does is like people try to reaffirm that everything sucks, and I'm just like, first and foremost, no, because statistically speaking we wouldn't have a planet. That's just facts. Like I get there's messed up stuff happening up in the world, but statistically speaking, if that was all the time, Earth would not be here.
It's kind of like what Saitama says in the first episode of the anime of One Punch Man. Is like, look, I keep killing these people, but every day another villain just comes out of nowhere and they wanna start some ish.
Yeah,
it's like
but
there's no end to.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, Extrodin, is that that's not a reality 100% of the time. It can't be anyway. And I just think that for me, I don't like the idea that pessimism is the thing that wins, because if we live by pessimism, we're not going anywhere. And now I believe we can sort this out one day. We have to be able to sort it out one day because we made it this way in the first way. But the Warhammer
one is definitely pessimist for sure. But I think human nature, if the point of it all is that humans, there's always going to be good and evil, that's fine. But
I think that's a very binary way to think about it. I don't think in terms of good and evil. I think in terms of misery and happiness. When person's miserable, misery loves company, then we get wars and all of that stuff. Person who's fine with themselves, they don't bother nobody.
Yeah, but even if you're fine with yourself, if your leader is pessimist, then what?
Yeah, I'm saying then leader has to go and do internal work on himself and find out why he wants to be such a dick.
So are you telling me that the world leaders just need to go?
Kendrick went to therapy and came back more of a hater. That's what
he didn't go to therapy. He went to he went to a dark magician who conjured spirits and demons with him. He went to Palpatine. That's what.
Yeah, exactly. That's what he went to. Like, let your hate flow through you. Your hate is not. Well, I sense your hate.
He was rapping about high power. He was rapping about high power, and then all of a sudden he went to Palpatine, and they shot him with the Sith lightning, and he came back extra charged with hatred. That's what happened.
With that being said, I just want. That's my biggest criticism of the Warhammer universe. Otherwise, the characters, the lore. I mean, one of the things that made me love the Warhammer universe was watching a parody channel called oh my god, why do I forget these things now when I'm on air? Can someone please be competent?
We've talked about
Manuel, Moses.
Guys,
this episode has been set up so much. This episode has got so much set up. In a foundation, and then you omile like. We haven't even started with the episode. We just talking about the foundation of this thing.
Yeah. But I mean, it's important. Yeah, I guess we can get into the episode, but it is important because, like I said, when they open this thing, we open up with a shot on a kid who's like walking through the darkness and he has blood on his face or whatever.
With a sword.
With a giant sword.
Yeah. And I'm gonna have a low key criticism for this episode. I am, but we'll get to it. Yeah, we'll get to it. But yeah, and then we get the monologue.
Sorry, I was going to go into depression. Text is called If the Emperor Had a Text to Speech Device. That's the name of the channel, TTS. You can check it, Bruva Fabusa. You can check it out on YouTube. He made Warhammer funny enough for me to actually pay attention to the lore. Otherwise, I wouldn't have touched 40k with an iron lance.
Okay, I must check him out. Send the link and shoot the link in the group. But
I'll
anyway,
do so.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, like I was saying, so like we get a monologue about how people, they get torn, like they get broken down, get the fear beaten out of them or whatever. Yes. But he was the one kid who didn't have fear.
Fear to begin with. So part of when you become an ultramarine, macaroni, or and
the macaroni breathing,
it's one of the.
And I was the one in from Daenerys, the one that she had. This was basically what these guys become.
The
Dovagheris.
Yeah, basically these guys were the Dovagheris.
The Unsullied people. The Unsullied.
The Unsullied, yes.
Wait, the Momoas? Were they the Momoas?
No, the Dovagheris.
No. The Dothraki are the Momoas. The Dovagheris, Grey Worm.
The Grey Worms and the pink rats and black rats.
So what? They getting their dinguses chopped off?
Yeah.
Well, no, they don't.
Remember, they get taken as kids. They get the dingus chopped off, and they literally just train to be soldiers.
They get their dinguses chopped off?
So they have no desire. They have no desire, and then they're literally molded from kids. Remember, they're taken as children. So as a kid,
even the witches let you keep your dingaling. Damn.
Yeah. No, these ones.
You didn't know about the Unsullied?
No.
You didn't watch.
He didn't watch it. That's why.
No,
I mean, I didn't know that they did that in the 40K universe. I had
no. In the 40K
No, I'm
universe.
saying these guys are basically like the Unsullied of their verse because they're taken as kids and they are programmed to be soldiers.
Okay. I thought it was the same WhatsApp group where it was just like, no Humpty Humphrey.
No, I think they have. I think they still have the dinguses.
No, madinga, dinga.
Okay. And here comes Tebello with the bad news. Yes, they have the dinguses. No, they don't have any desire to use them because.
Oh, it's the Night's Watch.
No.
Not even. I think they just destroyed them.
Look, they get genetically spliced. Every Marine Corps has basically got like what's called a gene seed, which is basically this biggest genetic mutation machine, genetic mutation code that makes them into super soldiers. And part of the side effect is that you get extra heart, you get another heart and organs and shit like that. You can survive in space. You can almost survive in any environment and shit like that, and you can live for up to 10,000 years. Yay! But there goes your libido.
What do you mean you get other organs?
What? To the
Captain America is looking like I need to contact my lawyers because
you get. I believe you get 2 hearts and I don't know how many lungs. And you get
in your body
you get mutated
at the same time.
Yep.
How does that work? So maybe that's why they're all built like houses because the body has to expand to account for all of these extra organs.
If you see those normal people running up to them, those are just normal people in normal people height. These guys are enormous, and then
double cheek
on a Thursday afternoon.
Those guys were like Shaq with Kevin Hart on top of them.
The pandemic wasn't going to do anything to them.
Oh no, that wasn't. They're gonna
4 lungs.
Wait, so I'm saying, so I'm saying, do they? If they get double of everything, are they having like 4 ass cheeks? What's happening?
Wow.
Okay, I don't know about that.
No. I think they get double of essential organs to make them.
Okay.
Yeah. Because remember, they need to adapt to different environments, so they'll have lungs. They'll have more lungs. So if the atmosphere is low in oxygen, they have enough lung power to survive. If the atmosphere has too much oxygen, they have enough lungs to slow it down and process everything.
Well, they didn't give it to the guy in the coffin, but we'll talk about it.
So we've got the Ultramarines are a type of space marines, and they're basically augmented superhumans. There were originally 20 different chapters or 20 different units led after 20 different Primarchs. The Primarchs were basically the children of the Emperor, the God Emperor himself, or the Man Emperor. Fight me, fan base. He's the Man Emperor of mankind. To me, that's who he is. Anyway, sorry, that's for them, not for you guys.
Kakata koi, you.
Anyway,
he was like, fight me.
Yeah. With that being said, then somewhere along the line, an asshole named Horus decided to betray his father, and he led about 9.
Horus.
Yes, Horus Lupercal.
As in the Horus.
No, he's named after the god Horus, but his name is Horus. he went corrupt, and then he made because became corrupted by the other chaos gods and became this big ass monster that basically screwed up the universe.
He doesn't have the shape of an eagle, does he?
No, he doesn't.
Okay.
If anything, Lupercal, he's more into wolves. But then there's Fenris. But look, there are lots of other Primarchs. So what happens is when you become an Ultramarine, the gene sequences that they took from the particular Primarch is used to make you into that particular type of super soldier. There are only two exceptions. One will be the Grey Knights, which got the massive psychic abilities from the Emperor himself, and then the other one would be the most powerful units that the Empire had would be like Adeptus Custodes, also known as Henry Cavill's favorite troops. They're the personal army of the Emperor himself. They're more OP than even the Space Marines, if that's even possible. I'll send you a video of seeing them what they do in combat.
Oh, so basically like the Golden Knights of the Zodiac.
I also watched one of those TikToks or whatever I think his name is Gabe or whatever, where he was explaining the 40k universe, and he was saying that there's like assassin units. And,
yes, the assassin units.
Guys, how do you know all this lore? Like, where do you guys get this lore from?
Hyperfixation.
Is it from cards? Is it from a website?
Social media. TikTok.
Yeah, YouTube, dog. YouTube
but
and
where
TikTok.
do those niggas get this information?
No, they've been fans of this. Some of them been fans of this stuff, and they play the games.
They read the law.
Yeah.
But like my thing sometimes
it's the same way you know so much about DC.
Yeah, but I'm saying the thing is sometimes my thing is
so
with
just
lore,
that
right?
This Warhammer is their DC.
Yeah, but I'm saying the thing is sometimes with lore, it's just like I get that there's all this backstory, but where's the story? Like a good example of this is in One Piece, right? Apparently, there's a whole.
We will talk about that. We'll talk about that story offline. I can give you the beginnings to the end.
Oh God!
But if I start, I know Daniel is already typing furiously somewhere. Everything's going to be WhatsApp. He's going to spear tackle me to the ground if I to start talking about the Warhammer universe without him. I'll need to have him on the channel somehow because I can't talk about Warhammer.
Yeah, but
him.
what I'm saying is like somebody was saying, yo, there's so much lore in Sanji's lighter, and then somebody was breaking down all the symbols and the meanings, and I'm like, yeah, that's cool, but I don't care.
I was thinking all that stuff.
You know what? Sometimes these people,
How bored are you?
No, they become as obsessive as a Kendrick Lamar fan. Have you noticed how they manage to break down his every single syllable of every single song?
Yeah,
like you.
I think that's why I like Rick and Morty writers, because they listen to all this lore that people come up with, and then they debunked it immediately on the next season. But they debunk everything that the fans were saying.
Like what I'm saying is like sometimes like lore is cool, but like there's a limit, dog. Like at some point somebody was trying to translate the Kryptonian symbols on Superman's costume, and I'm like, guys, he just wears blue and red and he flies. That's all I need to know.
And also his house, like it's also sometimes it's really simple. There's no need to go extra. You know, sometimes a sandwich is a sandwich. It's not a metaphor for the starvation of the No, that guys, it's a sandwich. That's it.
Yo.
Like those were his house colors.
Yes, the House of L.
That's the House of L. Everybody had their colors on the thing. That was the combination that they have at his house. That's it. It's not that.
Sometimes now you're trying to tell me that on his left bicep, if you pay attention, it screams about the peace that the House of L was bringing to Krypton. Guys,
it's not.
Anyway, guys, Kai, let's get to this episode, guys. It's
okay,
like
anyway,
time.
So let's get into this episode. Yeah. So it starts with we show this child who had absolutely no fear after he basically taken in and manipulate. He gets factory reset into Ultramarine. And then it shows that they have this mission to go to this outpost or a planet.
You're frozen, by the way. I don't know if it's me.
You're not moving. Yeah, you're not moving.
I was. My enemies are after me. Let me try this.
Okay, but anyway, while you're trying this, so they get to this thing, and then they show up to this like Mad Max, Fury Road, Planet, and then these guys just run at them and they just get massacred.
Oh no, I felt like I was watching a Zack Snyder movie for a second.
No, Zack Snyder at least gives the bad guys some chance. This was
no.
Zack Snyder would have made a cut
without the slow motion.
There'll be multiple explosions, and then of course
slow motion.
There'll be slow motion. As soon as the Ultramarines landed, there'll be a slow motion walk. And never mind, there'll be a Jesus reference somewhere. There'll be a cross appearing as they descend from the sky.
Yeah, no. One of them will have a sword that has a cross, and they'll emphasize it because it'll have Jesus on the hilt like this.
Yeah. That being said, we are not particularly Zack Snyder haters, because the way we go on,
he's done some okay stuff. He's done some okay stuff, but like,
it's annoying.
Leave off like focus. Just have a focus. That's all I ask for.
Yeah.
Like when you're doing one thing, do one thing, please.
Focus, so that you don't have to make so many freaking cuts.
Zack, please.
But anyway, yeah.
Please leave the scissors at home. That's all we ask.
Anyway, so yeah, these guys are I'm saying. So anyway, these guys are doing the stabbing and the killing.
Am I back, by the way?
Was really, yes, you are.
Back.
Yeah. So they're doing the killing and everything. They're just bodying these dudes. They're doing like Mortal Kombat fatalities. It's insanity.
I don't know if you noticed. Sorry to interrupt you, Buck. But did you notice how they were fighting on beat? Not all the time, but some of the moments they were fighting on beat. This episode, it had zero story, and it was just it felt like a moment in a story, not an actual story. Like the other ones felt like a story, beginning, middle, ending. But this one just felt like I got somewhere. I was visiting Buck and he was watching a movie, and I just watched it because he was watching it, and this is what that felt like.
Yeah,
I found something playing and I watched it.
No, I think even a perfect example of this would be like the opening for a game, if you get what I'm saying. Like where he sits at the end of it, that will probably be like the start of a level or something.
Loading.
But my favorite thing about this episode was the use of the music. If you notice how the music there was music all the time. There was never, and even the silence was music because it conveyed a message. When there was silence, it was like something was about to happen, and then the music came on again. So this episode, the one thing I thoroughly enjoyed was the music and how it was used to tell the story. How during the fight, the music amped up. When the emotions were emotioning, the music kind of calmed down and built up to the emotion and things like that. That was brilliant. So if you watch this again and pay attention to the music, and you will realize how brilliant it was used.
No, I think even just the sound design itself outside of the music was just fantastic and everything. Like these guys, they feel like because I'm saying, because they feel like hurricanes. Like they felt like when they landed, you didn't feel like they were the good guys or whatever, and you just felt like they were this imposing force, and whoever they were going up against, it was just no, like. And also, you just want to ask Braz, guys, sometimes it's okay to run away.
Oh no! Oh wait, are you talking about that? Are you talking about the guys being mollywalked by the Ultramarine?
Some of them would see thousands, hundreds of their dead bodies, and he still comes with a car and a machine gun. And I'm like,
okay, you see, this is what happens when your planet gets given over into chaos. Literal chaos ensues. People don't really give an F. So you see, this is where it's designed for people who have, I've mentioned with all the other episodes, it's really designed for the people who follow the law of the game, not necessarily designed to attract a new audience to come into this particular game.
It's like if you don't get it, you don't get it.
If you know, you know. So when a planet is given into chaos, really, they don't even know what they're dying for. Some people are just dying for the dead.
So they're just running into gunfire.
But at least they ran into it beautifully, because I mean, when the Ultramarines come. They come, and then as they're fighting, the music like boom, 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 and then boom, and then when the boom hits, like there's a fist lands or a sword lands or a gun lands.
Shout out to the guy.
So Zuko,
the
you're saying as
like,
they get, Zuko, you're saying as they got chopped in half, they were like, well, this shit was cool.
Like I died to sick ass beat.
No, you know what? As they were getting chopped, there was someone in the back going to the beat, y'all.
One guy who thought he could shoot an ultramarine point blank and got
like even that one, like the guy who shoots him. If you listen to that, it goes on beat as well, and that's the thing I'm talking about. Like
the way he gave us the black sound,
the sound was like telling the story, bro.
Speaking of that, there's actually a scene where it reminded me of Batman in the warehouse scene, where he gets shot in the face, and then he turns around, and then mollywobs that guy. There's a scene like that where they shoot this guy.
But I mean, this one makes more sense than that one because, like I said, the thing is, now with Batman, when he's in cartoons, you always see like that guy's always moving. Because the thing is, Batman also knows that he does have his mouth exposed. With Zack Snyder Batman, when he was fist fighting the goons on the ground.
Privilege?
Oh yeah, that one. But I'm saying with the Batman and the Zack Snyder thing, the only thing I kept asking sometimes, I was like, okay, you guys are seeing that he's beating your guys' asses. No one gonna try and shoot him in his white privilege.
But for me, it's not even just the Zack Snyder one. Any Batman that I see, I'm like, guys, his face is here. It's just here.
Yeah, but I'm saying like the thing anyway, but it doesn't anyway. Point being is that this one made more sense to me.
Police don't shoot me. I am cauliflower.
Anyway, that being said, let's move on with this episode. I was just wanted to say, when chaos takes over, people go crazy. And if you understand the particular chaos god that took over this planet, and you'll understand why everybody is acting back wild and insane, because this is some next level stupidity. Then it gets to they kill everybody. They go into this biggest ditch. They slide down like the bosses they are.
So freaking dope.
And they kill even more of these. Now that's when you start seeing these monsters that they're slaughtering. For me, it told me, we're getting closer to the source of the matter. Because once again, when it comes to the Imperium of Mankind, it's either you're fighting against Tyranids, aliens of some sort, or chaos, or agents of chaos.
Another beautiful artistic decisions they made. So it's dark where they're fighting these creatures. So they made the creatures glow in the dark so that you could see them even without the light. So there's no light, but because those things glow in the dark, they give you the light. And I think that was also another brilliant use of.
So there's no like vision goggles or
there's no fake, and there's no like fake light or it's dark but you can
and then
see.
You could also see that dragging this coffin behind, and there's another beautiful scene where you can see the footprints and then the coffin is busy dragging.
Like this is crystallized Zack Snyder. Like if you took Zack Snyder's style, you took out a lot of the slow motion and a lot of the hamness. And
Jesus reference.
And obvious, and you focused on cool factor and artistic shots and all of that stuff, but you need to get to somewhere, you know what I'm saying? But there's not necessarily in the beginning or whatever. It's like action sequence.
Isn't Zack Snyder also full of lens flares?
No, he's not lens flare. That's J.J. Abrams.
That's J.J. Abrams. Yeah, no, sorry.
Yeah. But anyway, but that's what I'm saying. So they. Like, this is a cool short. I wouldn't watch an hour of this. Like, if I was like having to sit through an hour of okay, the Marines are badass, that would be boring. But like a nice
story. That's the problem.
Yeah,
it's not gonna tell you a story.
There was no story in this. And yes, I understand if you know the lore, you'd understand everything. But the other ones, I didn't know the lore. But I still got the story. But I still got the story. This one didn't have the story.
Throughout the short, we're focusing more on the side character than the main character, and I'm like,
Then so so we move on to the epicenter where they find this gigantic statue.
Yeah, where they just hold the dude in the coffin. I mean, first off, I had to be in a coffin the entire time you guys are killing people. I couldn't even get any breathing, any air or anything. Then you summon me to come pray, and then I just get stabbed.
Okay. From what I can gather, and you guys can correct me, the viewers can correct me below, that is what was referred to as a psyker. Psykers, a psyker. Psyker.
Okay.
What is? So if that's a job in this universe, no wonder Attack on Titan is better. Like, I'm just supposed to chill in the coffin.
Oh no, literally. If some people are born with the affinity of being able to commune with the warp, which means basically the spiritual world. So, where in this case, where if you have developed like latent psychic abilities or stuff like that, you're known as a psyker, and life ain't easy for you from that moment onwards. Because
you said psych. You thought you were gonna have it easy? Psych.
So what happens is some of them end up being used for librarians. Some get used for to contact the Astronomicon to find out how to travel through the warp.
They get called the hard ER.
And some get used to become assassins. And if you are those are the lucky ones that I just mentioned. If you're unlucky and you're deemed unable to control your powers, as a child, you are shipped off in a big black ship to Earth, planet Earth, Terra, they call it at that time, and you're literally fed to the Golden Throne as a sacrifice, 1,000 of them a day. So yeah, Attack on Titan me any day. Yes, 1,000 kids die every day. Get sucked up by the Golden Throne every day. Or
what in the Diddy?
Yeah.
What the? Hey,
like I said, 40K.
Like 1,000 is a lot, guys. Like 1,000
every day.
Like, what is this chair doing?
And never mind the fact that it must have been happening for somewhere between the next 5 to 10,000 years. So
you know what this feels like? This feels like
and
when
there's
you're
no rebellion.
This feels
rebellion.
Like when
they're like mention rebellion against the Empire and see what happens to your planet.
The Ultramarines are gonna show up there, and they're gonna Ultramarine you.
Yeah, the Grey Knights will appear.
And your whole rebellion.
The Grey Knights appear, and then your planet gets exterminated. The Inquisition comes, you are dead. Ooh, you get chemically castrated. Ooh, look, there's so many things. So many things.
So I'm just going to the Grey. I'm just going the Ultramarines already. They were badass. And if you're telling me the Ultramarines weren't even the most badass people there, and I'm just going like, what?
What?
Yeah. So you were saying something.
Sorry, you were saying something?
I was just saying that it just feels like, when you're playing 30 seconds with some people and they're super nerdy and they're giving clues you know nothing about and everybody else is answering except you. You're like, wait, what?
Yeah. Because I'm the one person who knows about this law the most in this group, and I'm just like, yeah, basically like, oh, yeah, at least they do this, and I'm basically like, oh, at least that is like, oh, at least that's like, oh, I'm the only guy who's basically like, oh. Do I protect your innocence or not?
So that's what I'm trying to say. Like, what is the point of this universe? Like, just kids getting sucked up into thrones and
the fact that they managed to animate this with this law is actually impressive.
If they can do it, we have no excuse. That's all I can tell you. With all that being said, I just wanted to highlight. Okay, so
then
those psychers can access the warp, and they can determine that's what, and they, with their massive psychic powers, they can, with the grace of the Emperor, they can disable or enable certain psychically imbued artifacts and stuff like that. So what I'm thinking is they're trying to depower this gigantic statue that was being worshipped, because it's from what I can tell, it's a statue of the something of change, Lord of Change. That's his name. Yeah, I got it there.
You can even tell what it was.
Yeah, no, because it's one of the characters. It's look who's talking, Mr.
Exactly.
Dancing to beat.
No, Zuko's a groovista. He was paying attention to the music.
Yeah.
It's the pot calling the kettle black.
You know?
No, they were in there like, "Au sisi hamba nawe, au nami hamba nawe."
Hamba nawe.
Nami
Hamba
nachopa.
And Nami is like, what?
Who the hell is Du? I just got shot. Anyway, so but then of course it invoked one of the champions, one of the greater demons of Zinch to come say hello to the group, which basically used one of his abilities.
Flat-headed Voldemort. That's what I called him.
Yeah, Mewtwo mixed with
Xenomorph mixed with.
Yeah.
It looks like a Venus flytrap with an eye.
Yeah, like basically the final form of the Dama of Shinnok from Mortal Kombat or something.
A copy, a Pokemon reject.
Wow. I'm gonna clip all these things because I want to hear all the.
Then Ash is like, I don't want to be the very best that no one ever was anymore. I understand why no one is the very best here.
Yeah, like I'm out.
When
Bye.
Ash saw that, he got his Brenda Fassi on. No.
Ash went back to school. He found out Professor Oak was his dad. He went to go study. There was
he married Misty.
Yeah, there was no.
You know, on TikTok, what movie was it? Coach Carter. At the end of Coach Carter, they play that song, whatever the song.
I'm hopeful. Yes, sir.
Yeah, and then they like, Zuko went to school. Buck did finish his degree in programming.
No, wait. We must read right.
Extrodin managed his companies.
Yeah,
when Ash saw if that was a Pokemon and Ash saw that, Ash went back to school. He stopped being a Pokemon master. He didn't want to be the best. That thing is oh my soul. Like when that thing, because the first time it opens up, you don't really see it, and then the second time, then you see it. Like
yeah,
but that thing is super quick, bro.
It's not even super quick because it literally froze time.
Do not sully coochie.
So that like super quick is like an understatement.
I thought no one heard me. I was like, yay! It went undetected.
Do not sully coochie.
I actually thought one of the warriors was blind. Like that, I thought that was gonna be the catch.
No,
that one of them is blind.
You see, what happens is Zinch is the chaos god of basically magic and knowledge. So having a demon that manipulates the fears of others is right up its alley. He's the great. Okay, Zinch has no basic form, so you can call it an it. It's fine. That's of the 4 chaos gods, 2 you can refer to them as its. Would be Zinch because we don't know if it's a he or she. It's always ever changing. And Slanesh, which is both he and she and it and they and them and every pronoun altogether.
A god, basically.
But it's the chaos god of access and pleasure.
So does the council claim this one, or do they deny it?
When it comes to brewing?
I'm saying, does the council claim this one, or do they deny it because it's horrible?
Oh no! Oh no! Instant reject that one. Look,
guys, that one is in South Africa. Every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is in South Africa. That one.
Oh no!
Excess, the god of excess.
No, guys, it's not just excess as in like.
And then Monday to Friday is in government.
Wow!
Wow. Okay, I wanted to highlight, guys.
Slanesh, he's the god of excess.
God of goddess, the prince of princess of pleasure, she who thirsts. I want to let you guys know it's not just as in like
she who thirsts.
Yes, it's not just the excess in terms of like gluttony or party like this. Oh, she is so depraved, or it is so depraved that even the Dark Elder are scared of her.
Wow, bruh.
In fact, the Dark Elder...
You keep on going further and further with this thing.
Yeah, the Dark Elder are so scared of her. That's the reason why they have to continue torturing people, because she will absorb their souls and torture them for all eternity with whatever depravity it has in its head.
Wow.
So it's not...
Even Griffith is like, chill.
Dog.
So it's not just like, oh wait, it's
even Naruto was like, whoa, I know my ninja ways not to give up. Like, damn, bro.
Naruto's not talk no jutsu in here. I think he'll take one look and he'll be like, guys.
Never mind talk no jutsu. He was gonna give up. He was like, hey, no, I give up.
You guys forget.
I know my ninja ways not to give up, but I know get
shot. You see, maybe let me put it like this: the thing that broke me out of the legendary is when I found out that how one of the ways they managed to create the dark this dark god Slanesh was that the dark elders are technically immortal, so that when they die, they'd go into the warp and they'd be reborn in new bodies.
Okay.
So one of the things they do in the access parties is when they're reborn as babies that actually get raped to death as part of the party thing.
What?
So when I read that, I was like, "Oh, I'm out." And it was all part of the.
Whoa! Wait! So, whoa! What?
Thank you. I love the shock. Thank you. Now you'll understand why I can't take you.
Why does Henry Cavill like this thing, guys? No, I thought it was the most innocent thing
guys,
ever. I thought it was like a Lego thing.
What did they do to the babies? What?
Yes.
I call timeout, guys.
So when the gods are born, somebody has to.
No, they were just having shit and giggles because they knew they were just immortal. It's just another body. So they just wanted, like, you know what? Do whatever you want to this body of mine, even if it's a baby.
We need to go back to Code Geass, because what the hell is this?
No, damn Code Geass. We need to go back to Metabots. Like, I need something wholesome. I need something wholesome.
Wait,
no. Metabots is actually still
it
violent.
Wasn't the gods. It was the Dark Elder.
Popeye spinach.
No, I'm trying to understand.
Those space elves went crazy enough to start having these super orgasmic orgies where they were doing all manner of depravity, including what I just mentioned to you now.
Okay, like Zuko said. Okay, let's go back to the episode.
Now, back to this.
You are my friend.
Back to this episode where now this thing was using everybody's fears to make everybody basically give up and die.
Yeah.
And then it gets to this one person and he realizes, whoa, wait, you actually have no faith. It just gave him the side eye, excuse me. And you are?
Wait, but I'm saying these other Marines that went through the same thing he did, so they just got scared and peaced out, and he was just like,
No, but remember, it ties to the beginning of what he said. Everyone has fears and whatever. He had no fears. He was he was broken. There was nothing. So from the get-go, there was nothing he feared. There was nothing he didn't mind losing anything. He didn't mind winning anything. There was nothing. He had nothing.
That's why the POV character is like, imagine what that kind of person would do. Someone who's not
when now this demon, so if the demon comes into Tebello has his fear of not finishing
heights or whatever.
Okay, spiders, heights. How does he have a fear of heights? Have you seen? How tall is he? He can't have a fear of heights.
He actually has a fear of spiders, for real.
And heights, you're quite correct.
But I'm saying heights. How can you be afraid of heights?
But I get what you're saying. So, so this guy, this demon will show Tebello a spider, and Tebello will like, peace out.
Peace out. And then he'll freak out, and then it will, whatever, it will give him a stroke, whatever. And then they'll show you, not you finishing a drawing, and you'll freak out and you'll get a stroke. And then
Kevin Feige will never recast T'Challa. No.
Yeah. And then you show, and then they'll show him one of his channels not working, and he'll be like, "So I've got others." Like, fuck that shit. Boom, and then he kills you. So he's not scared because he's like, I don't care. Like, I've got so many things going on. Like, if this one fails, there's another one that's gonna happen. I don't care. Like,
but here's my thing: how did the side character not die?
He was wounded.
He was wounded.
But why?
He raised the side.
I think that's where it gets. I'm saying I think that's where this gets a little bit, because like I was saying, the thing is, like, the Marines get like the Marines get the fear beaten out of them. Like that's what the guy was saying in the beginning, that they break these people down and like they build them up. So it's just like, so you're supposed to have like no fear at all, because I'm like, what was the point of the training then if they were going to break you down, destroy you?
No, but remember, it's training, right? And as much as training can only go so much, and most of the training, it teaches you how to handle the fear.
Yes,
but it's still there. But
unless, of course,
main
there are
character
stories
they didn't have to begin with, so there was nothing for them to beat out.
Okay.
Unless,
So
of course,
I understand that. I understand what you're trying to say. Like, if you come to me and you beat the fear out of me, why do I still have fear? But then I have the fear that I'm not gonna succeed because you did all this training to me. You know, there'll be or I'll have the fear of
losing my friends.
No, not losing your friends, of not succeeding. Like that will be now the new fear that's in me, because you've trained me like your dog. You need to be the dopest, greatest killer ever. But then now I have the fear of not being the greatest killer. But because now
but these people kind of seem very robotic for that stuff. Like they feel like it's very matter of fact.
Because that's what
it's one of those things. Like, it's still human beings. You can beat them as much as they'll still have that 1%. That's why Naruto will be beaten to 99%, but then that 1% will like, I'm not giving up, and then ignite him.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, from what Tebello is describing, and also from what I saw in the short, it didn't feel like these guys emphasized humanity one. Because, like, even when they're doing their business, it just feels like it's a everyday at the gym type of situation for them. Like, they didn't have anything in the eyes to say that, oh, okay, that man looks like he's terrified or whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
okay,
so
they could have done. They could have done.
Like I didn't see that these guys behind the masks were scared or whatever. And I didn't see, like if he had an expression of fear here and then we cut to the main character and he's just lifeless in the eyes, that would indicate to me that, oh, okay, these guys over here, as much as they're efficient and they're doing things, there's a human in there somewhere where there's no human in the main character, if that's what they were trying to do. But I didn't get that.
That's what I'm saying, that the story in this one was not good.
Yeah.
Visually,
so that's why it felt like plot armor.
Because it was good, but the story in itself wasn't good.
That's why it felt kind of plot armory that he decided, no, I'm not scared. And then the other thing was like, yeah. And then also I was like, can't you slow down time? Because it looks like you're slowing down time. Why don't you just freeze him again?
Well, he got scared.
That's the thing. If you pay attention, he broke the staff.
Oh, okay.
That's how he was freezing his time, and then it broke. Time got restored. He tried
to run. Why would you put your time freezing thing in front of the guy that can break?
Because he thought he was in control.
Arrogance. It's arrogance. You think you're in control. Like, no one has broken from this, so you don't have a. Oh wait, Buck can break from this. So let me. The last time I fought Buck, he broke from this. Let me put it at the back so that he doesn't have access to it. It's just arrogance. It's not even arrogance. It's just you don't think someone can.
Shout out to the priest that just got stabbed. Yeah, that must have sucked. I mean, you hold in that thing and then you just get stabbed in the stomach and that's the end of it.
As much as I hated this as a story, visually this was brilliant.
Yeah.
Visually, it was brilliant. The music was brilliant. Obviously, the music, as I've said, it just the beats to the fighting. It was awesome. You know, sometimes in fights they'll have like Tupac, and it doesn't really go with what's happening.
Yeah, looking at you, Gladiator.
Make money. You
know, and they'll have like a, you know, sometimes they'll have like a sad song, but it's like murders happening, but you understand why it's a sad song, because this guy is dying inside.
Like the evil cult.
You know? So that makes sense. But this one this one was like the music, the way they paced the music, the way the beats were on the, like, they'll be like, the bass will hit and then a punch will hit at the same time. So it gave it momentum. But otherwise, this was a whack story. I'm not gonna.
Where does the beam of light come from? Is it from the ship?
Tesseract.
The Tesseract. It's from
the Avengers showed up for 2 seconds. Like, hey.
I think. Wasn't it the statue got destroyed and?
Yes.
Yeah, no, Joss Whedon was down there like, hey, Buffett, copyright. Hey, Luna, that's my beam.
That, or it could be a signal that the planet is ready to be destroyed, or it could be that many things. For me, anything that happens in that universe is like, you're not more bad news.
I think the planet is ready to be destroyed because they started saying, let's bomb this place after the light came. So
yes,
yeah, no, it said target acquired, and then Daman turns around and he's like, we're not done yet. The planet's about to blow up. Leave.
Dog, like, there's no time to be fighting. Let's bounce.
Like,
also,
that's how I knew that.
That's not clear.
I mean, that's how I knew. Like, what Zuko was saying about the human thing, that's how I knew, because the black dude was looking at him like, I think we messed up and recruit the wrong guy. Like, the black in him came out and was like,
it's time to go home. We've done our job.
It's chai. We done.
No, but also down. You see, this is the point now where the story is whack, because we don't know if they were going, 1, to destroy the planet, 2, to destroy the deity so that they could take over the planet.
Mm-hmm.
Because now, if they were going to destroy the planet, it doesn't make sense why the guy says, hey, we're not done job. But if they were going to destroy the deity, it makes sense why they say target acquired, and then they go destroy that deity or whatever the thing that was controlling the planet. That the second part makes sense. But it makes sense to what he said now. But also it doesn't make sense, because if the ships are gonna bomb the target, what more do you need to do? You need to go back to the ship.
Yeah, because there's no need for you to
do your job. You see, this is where things.
I think it kind of felt like they fell in love with the lore over like the story that they were telling in the short.
Right.
Yeah,
if you get what I'm saying.
No, like I said, this story was horrible. This was a horrible story because you don't understand. Okay, why is the main character doesn't have fear, doesn't have anything? What did he see? What happened to him that got him there? Why was it important? The only reason you see why it's important that he didn't have fear is when he faces the main villain. But also then, why then is he still wanting to fight? Because then what was his point? What was his mission on there? So the mission doesn't make sense. The why he is not explained clearly enough. It's not even explained. Never mind clearly enough. It's not even explained. So, like, as a story, this was a whack story, but visually, musically, mwah.
Yeah, if we had to rate this one, I'd give it a 6.
Sorry, guys, I did not advertise. I did not advertise the grim dark universe of the 40K well enough. As you can see, it's getting such horrible results. I'm so sorry, guys.
I'm rating the short. I'm not rating the whole.
I'll give it a 5.
Yeah, we're rating the short. The short was a terrible story.
I'm being sarcastic because you already know that, like, I have a love-hate relationship with this universe. I love the fans, the fandom. Beautiful, wholesome guys. The story, it needs all kinds of Jesus.
This was a horrible story. Like, guys.
Also, like, just
a simple example. You know me. I love my Jason Statham. Jason Statham has a simple story, but it has a story. It's boring. It's repetitive. You could fart it, and that's the story. However, it makes sense. It flows with everything, and you understand it.
I saw Jason Statham kick ass in roller skates on mud. So
this is him reading the script. What the hell am I reading?
But the story made sense.
Warhammer?
That scene might not have made sense, but the story made sense, correct?
No, I'm saying, like, it's in the first transporter where he, like, throws oil on the ground or whatever, and he starts breakdancing to and the bullets keep missing.
But you see, you like, even then you can force yourself to explain, like, he was outnumbered, so he had to make a
The
scenario
villains try
where
to capture him, but he's too slippery.
you know, he had to make a scenario where he could get an advantage in the fight. You know, like even if it doesn't, even if it's like, even if it's paper thin, even if it's thinner than like one of my beard hairs, you can still try to make a story out of it.
Yeah.
This one, you were just like, what is happening? Like,
Bruh, one of the villains should have just been smart enough and just gotten sent Kontleda and just put it on there.
No, dog. Don't you see? Don't you
but
see?
Even that, like,
you
can excuses. You were like heat of the moment. You wanted to Komoshaya in. You can still make even if it's like paper thin, you can still make an excuse for it.
Guys, Statham is bald. All of a sudden you see an arrow will form on his head, and then he'll start bending the sand to defeat the
guys. Have you seen that video with when Statham had hair and he was a diver? I was like,
I've seen him with hair before.
Like if you watch
Jet Li
and
Jet Li the one.
Barrels.
Yeah, no, also Jet Li the one, when he was there with Jet Li, he also had hair.
Yeah, even in Transporter 1 he had hair.
Oh, I guess.
Snatch. Hey,
yes, yeah. But anyway,
Snatch,
sorry, let's Tebello, you need to
Snatch,
Kai,
oh, no.
Kai, Statham.
Yeah, it was Snatch.
Wait, mate, Statham Kai.
Okay, so it's 5, 6, and what?
Yeah, Zooks.
I'm only giving it a 6 because of the music. Otherwise, this was
the graphics,
the music and the action. This was a 2.
Oh.
In all honesty, this was a 2. But the way the music matched the action and everything, that was brilliant. The way they used the animals to make them glow in the dark so that you could see what was happening. They did little nice tricks, so I'll give it a 5. I'll give it a 5.5. But otherwise, it was horrible because I didn't understand it.
And then the next question was: would you want this to continue as a series or
wait? What's your rating, dog?
Oh yeah, no 5. Thank you.
So it's 2, 5, 2, 6.
Yeah. Wow, that sounds like a Fast and the Furious movie.
Based on what they told me, no. Based on what it could be, yes. But based on what they told me, no.
Yeah, based on what it could be, maybe you're looking at no, you know what it is? It needs to stay where it is. It needs to stay a video game. Like maybe they need to flesh it out in the game a little bit more. Maybe have a couple. Maybe have a couple. Like this should be a couple of games, and maybe they should actually in the cutscenes focus on the story and pick a singular character, or like explain this character, go into his origin or whatever. But in terms of a movie adaptation, it already sounds like there's too much happening and too much going on. And in this short, it was telling me that apparently people can't put this in like a visual story narrative because the main character felt like a blank slate anyway. All we know is that he doesn't get scared. Why? What's his name? How did he find these guys?
Dude, I found out his name friends?
Are they friends? Are they not friends?
The thing ended. I just found out his name is Titus, like 2 minutes before the thing ended.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I even forgot his name was Titus until you said that.
I was like, what?
Like, I
forgot. Dude, let's be honest. Until he killed the time.
I'm saying until he kills the main character, the main villain. I didn't know who was the main character. No, I'm saying I didn't know who the main character was at all until we get to the end. I just thought it was about.
No, did that. I didn't even know the guy who was the narrator was in the story until the end.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know the narrator was still in the story. I didn't know the main character, the kid who has no feelings, has no fear, was in the I didn't know that.
Honestly, for me, I connected the dots immediately. When I saw them as grown-ups before they actually went out on their mission, I was like, oh, that's the fearless guy, the black guy is the narrator. I figured it out quite quickly.
No, okay, well,
I didn't. No, okay, the narrator thing I can say.
I figured he was there. I'm
the opposite.
But I just figured he was there.
Because I figured the narrator,
I didn't think he was there.
I figured the narrator because of how he says, he presses that button and says something. So I was like, okay, that's his voice.
Yeah.
But as for the main dude, until I actually saw a face, I was like,
Because remember, before they left, they showed that guy. He was looking at him. Before they actually
left. Okay.
Look, I knew he was there because he had to be there because it was his story, but I didn't know he was. I didn't know who he was.
Yeah, like when we get to the action scene, it's 4 dudes being badass. But anyway, yeah.
Wow,
5.
1 hour 46 minutes on one episode. Well done, guys.
Well, this one, the
next one is going to be
in our defense, 1 hour 30 minutes was into the lore.
Yeah.
and me basically sucking out.
And then 10 minutes was actually the episode.
That's true. That's true.
That's what I'm saying. The next one is going to be infinitely shorter.
Yeah, I'm gonna run through this one quickly. First off and foremost, this just feels
episode. We're going to 6,
episode
right?
6. Yeah, episode 6.
Based on what? Pacman.
Pacman. Yeah.
It feels like someone was trying to make it deeper than it should be.
No, that's the thing that annoys me about this freaking short. Okay, this one, I'm gonna tell you right now, my rating for this one is, because the visuals look amazing and the voice acting looks amazing, I'm gonna give it a 4. But this story just annoyed the hell out of me, because first off and foremost, eat or be eaten, really? That's not how Pac-Man works.
Well, technically,
that's how it works.
Isn't it?
No, you don't eat the ghosts. You eat the things to run away. And
you eat everything else or be eaten by the ghost.
And then at the same time, you eat that big pill that makes you be able to eat the ghosts.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I guess I haven't played enough, but I'm saying it's Pac-Man, guys. It's not like they're trying to do this metaphor, like this thing. It feels like when they're like, oh, what if Winnie the Pooh was a murderer? Or,
that's exactly what I felt.
It just feels like an edgy. It just like this is like the dude who wrote this had the darkest fingernail paint and the most to the side hair covering the one eye.
The mascara, the eyeshadow must have been Vanta black.
Like it feels like this, like, and his favorite character Naruto. And his favorite character Naruto is Sasuke, and
it was
Shikamaru. Orochimaru.
Oh, okay, yeah, maybe. I'm just saying, like this.
And the song that was playing in the background must have been something.
Cut my life into pieces.
Yeah, that one.
This is my last resort. That's what he was doing as they were writing this thing. Suffocation, no bleed. Don't give a cut my arm bleeding.
Asmodeus, Satanas, Lucifer.
Like
I think it just feels
he probably even played some Disturbed in there. He played some Disturbed.
It feels like he watched The Matrix and then was like, what's a famous game that doesn't have law? Okay.
And then he said, no, there's strength in repetition.
Yeah, and I'm saying,
that's actually the only thing I liked, because
same.
That's the strength in repetition is literally the only thing I liked about this, because obviously it's whatever you do, the more you draw, the better you get. The more you gym, the stronger you get. The more you practice, the better you get.
Yeah. Also, there was no mazes. They kept saying you're going to escape.
Where is
there wasn't a maze.
Where is this maze? Yeah.
And he just kept running into random, and literally this guy also. Nothing about this guy said he's strong, and then there's nothing said like, okay, dude, you woke up, like, where am I, who am I don't know what's
his motivation.
And then they're like, okay, dude, like, yes, there's no motivation, and then there's no actual strength training. Like, he just gets strong because he needs to survive, but there's nothing that says shows like he's getting strong. Like, there's nothing that says like, okay, I've got a sword, and then like the orb is like, learn how to swing. This is how you swing the sword. There's no training arc. Yes, that's the word. There's no training arc, and there's no
training arc is one thing.
Even in Evil Cult, his training arc might have been like he got a special. He got matrixed. He got matrixed, and they put plugs in, and he learned how to do kung fu. but there was still a training arc.
Yeah, there's no cause and effect here, because like if we look at how this guy gets stronger, like literally sometimes it's just luck and whatever.
Yeah.
And then he manages to kill the thing. But now what I'm saying also is like, what I'm also saying is like, was this one with Pac-Man, when you eat the things, there's also something that keeps score or whatever, and there's also something that gives you a power up. I didn't see that.
Yeah,
it's not like he ate something and then like if, for example, if he killed the first thing and he ate it and then he gained muscle mass, I would be like, oh, okay, something.
Thank you. Like there was nothing that just said there was no improvement. There's nothing that showed improvement. There's nothing that said, oh, okay, so I drawed a circle and a thing and it was terrible. So I know now I need to draw the circle slower and I need to start from the left and then complete it from the right. Like, and also that's another thing. Let's say the Venus flytrap, the first time it catches him and he cuts it luckily and then he escapes it. But there was another one.
How did he escape that?
Also, no, there was another one behind him. How did that?
The one like 4 or 5.
Okay. So sharp. First time I see a Venus flytrap, it catches me. I don't know what's going on, and then I see the Venus flytrap. I'm like, oh, this is gonna eat me, and I cut it off. So the next time it cuts me, the next time it catches me, I need to cut it off immediately. That means I'm learning. That means I'm improving. That means something's happening. And that's nothing like that happened here.
And did he eat the Venus flytrap?
No.
I don't think so. I don't remember.
Eaten, I guess. No, but then also the other thing is, and I think this is where I kind of also drew the line where I really got annoyed. The ghosts are gorilla men?
Yeah, and also, what's the orb's motivation? What's behind that thing?
It's trying to escape, apparently.
What I'm saying is like, if the orb can just take over things, why don't you just jump into one of the gorilla men and get out of there?
Yeah.
But you know, it's always that thing. It's strong, but it's not strong enough to escape. It needs a secondary.
No, I'm saying it needs a host, but just go jump into the gorillas.
Yeah.
But also,
unless if it's looking for a pure,
maybe.
But also, the pure soul then doesn't make sense, because if I'm a pure soul and then I need to kill and eat everything I see, everything that attacks me, doesn't that mess up my purity?
Exactly.
Look,
and also, like,
Zuko, you just ruined like 80% of the movies in all of existence.
No. Look, I didn't. I'm a good guy. However, I'm a Marine, I'm a whatever. I understand that in order to get somewhere, I need to kill something. But this one says you're a good guy, and because of your goodness, you will get to you will get to escape this place. But in order to escape this place, you need to do bad things. That doesn't make sense.
You're not different from the villain.
Also, the Pac-Man itself, like, you get an indication has been doing this for a while. So I'm just like, you haven't refined this? Because, like, if this is like the second time or the third time you're doing this, maybe you need a different technique. Because obviously every time you invade somebody's body without their consent, they freak out.
And they die. So,
dude, like, exactly, like, there's no
logic here.
There's no continuation of story. There's no build-up of story. You know, in any story, I'm Robin Hood. The first time I can't shoot an arrow. And then Tebello comes and he teaches me, this is how you shoot an arrow. Boom, 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 boom. But now I can shoot arrows. Wow, 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 wow. And then I meet up with Buck. And then Buck is like this crazy arrow shooter. I shoot the arrow, he shoots my arrow out. And I'm like, yo, I don't know how to do this. And then Tebello comes, is like, now you must level up. And he wise sages me. But there was a progress. I went from not being able to shoot an arrow. And then I learned how to shoot arrows. And then I found someone who shot arrows better than me. And then Tebello taught me now the final technique. I didn't want to teach you this because this if I teach you this, you could end up dying, whatever, because there's some mystical whatever on it. However, but there was a next level that I needed to reach for me to get here. There's no level, like it's literally just
that offers a horrible explain. Like she can't explain for Jack squad.
But
Also,
here's the
is
thing,
it Miss
everything's on level
Pac-Man?
one. It's everything's on level 1. That's the problem. Everything's on level 1. Everything's just level 1. Like there's no upgrade. There's no okay. Yesterday I fought these 3 different animals or these 3 different plants, and I learned how to swing my sword.
There's no learning curve.
So now,
right?
So tomorrow, now I know. Okay, this animal, it likes to attack from the right. So I must make sure I block the right and kill it. There's no learning curve at all. There's nothing. There's no upgrade. There's no upgrading.
Sorry to interrupt, Zuko. It's like, there's a big difference between the one we watched in episode 1, where the guy lost, but you could see he gets through like a mental training.
Episode 2, episode 2, Sifu, yes, it's the opposite of Sifu.
It's the exact opposite, where you see he trains, he learns, he evolves, he comes back and gets stronger, but at the cost of a couple of years of his life. This one, like I said, it's just eat, and then you get eaten by me.
It's crazy if you're as lost as the main character of the short and not even get answers afterwards.
No, and also
how you feel about this? How you felt about the lore in the last episode is how I felt about this episode. Like, what the hell is happening?
Yeah. And unlike this one, the visual and the CGI and the artists and the designers, and they do their job in this short.
Yeah.
Like they did their thing.
Yeah.
I just think the writer didn't come to play because even if we go to the last one, right? We know there's an objective at least. This one, I'm not even sure what the objective is. If you get what I'm saying.
And you also don't know who's the objective for. Is it for the sphere or is it for the the player? Because at least that one, in the previous one, you knew the guy, he found a new type of warrior and he wanted to see how far this warrior could go. So that's the objective. This one, the objective is escape. But who's the escape for? Is it for
and why are you escaping? What's wrong?
And why are you escaping? Why were you trapped?
Yeah. So I gotta go soon. So I'm just gonna wrap up with this. This felt like the Hollywood gritty reboot where they want to take something as simple as Pac-Man and they're gonna be like, no, we're gonna add lore and meaning to it. And it's like, no one asked you.
Yeah, I think
leave it alone.
These 2 episodes, I'm sad to say, are my least favorite of the entire series so far. And I know there are some 40k fanatics like this. This episode did not do 40k justice, if you're gonna ask me. But you fight me in the comments. I know I'm getting up to this is gonna most probably be our most disliked video. That being said, I'm gonna.
They can't dislike us for telling the truth.
Because they can, yeah. We'll see.
Yeah, look, the Schwarzenegger one. The Schwarzenegger one for me is the best. Oh, my ranking for this one is a 5. No, 4.
Mine's a 4.
Because
the only reason it's a 4 is because visually it was dope.
That's
the artistry, everything was exceptional, and the story just did it a massive disservice. And I could say the same for episode 5, but then the music saves it.
The story is 0.5.
So this one gets a 4 for me as well. Any other scores?
No, we all give it a 4.
We all give it a 4. Yeah.
It's unanimous. And I assume none of us
story 0.5, 3. The reason it gets a 4 is because 3.5 visually it was beautiful.
And I'm assuming none of us want to see anything progress.
No, they can get this one in the water.
This one can.
We just want the animators.
Let's work on something. Take those guys and make a Sifu movie.
Yeah, the writing of this show made me pro-choice. So.
Oh God.
No. The moral of the story is don't mess with gorillas. Don't.
With big cheeked up gorillas that like why do I have to see all his cheeks? All of like what's going on?
Double cheeked up on a Thursday afternoon.
I was like, what the hell is wrong with this gorilla?
Those gorillas got BBLs in Brazil somehow.
BBL gorilla.
BBL gorilla.
Now I'm syncing with Zuko. Oh no.
All right, gents. Sorry, I gotta run. But
okay.
yeah.
We're about to close up.
Oh,
anyway,
okay.
So
I guess we can close up the video.
Unless, anything else? No more discussions.
Let's shut it down.
Thank you for listening until this point, guys. We do hope that you like, share, comment, and subscribe. Even though we have some opinionated comments. Comment below. I don't mind hate viewers. You're all part of the family. Follow these guys. Follow all these guys on their various social medias. Are awesome. Especially BuckMeister on his Twitter. He can rant and rave as much as you want. He can handle your Twitter hate. He's the master of that one.
Yes, nice. Sorry.
We wanted to take a moment to announce that you're going to appear at Afro Geek Fest. We're going to have a media stall there. Yay! But we'll make a proper announcement like this. Yeah. That being said, well, I mentioned that you must follow these people, right? Yeah, sure. I want to become more famous, more viral than herpes, and the only way is press to mouth to mouth. So please talk about us. We love you guys. We'll see you guys next week.
Let it burn.
Yeah, we love you guys. We'll see you guys next week. Peace out.
Umlilo, kafayando.